guys. Happy Sunday. As you've noticed, I've changed up my scenery. I am in the park, and I had to bring my microphone because if I didn't, you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I don't know how long I'll be live for, but um, I'm sitting in a spot where planes, one is coming right now, where planes come over my head or fly over my head often. So hopefully the microphone is doing its job and just muting some of it. Hi, Soria. Can you hear me okay? I'm outside for the first time with a microphone, so I want to know how well the microphone is muting out the outside noise. Thank you. Oh, you can hear me. No, I'm not grilling. Armani. That sounds nice though. If I could grill right now. As you guys are coming in, thank you for liking the video as you pop in. But I am chilling on this, sunny Sunday. It's a little colder than I thought it was gonna be. That's why, because I was looking out my window and I was like, I bet you the sun is out, yes, but I bet you it's kind of breezy. And that's exactly what's going on. So, okay. So, yeah, I'm just chilling. And everybody's got their dogs out here. Thanks, Brianna. You want to know a secret? I got this dress from Target like a couple years ago. And I did like, if you scroll down to one of my very first videos I did on YouTube like 4 years ago, you'll see that this was part of the haul when I first, a dress haul when I first got it. Oh, what? Hi, dog man. For 2,700 US dollars, would I fly out to Texas to beat the mess out of you? Yeah, well, what in the world? Nice. Why do you look like that? Are you okay? Fine. I would look good if I was with you. Hi, Felipe. Is that a yes or a no? I need to mark the answer down. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna beat you up. No, because if I have to beat you up for that, then no. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. But if you run, then run for cover. You like black men. I like men with good character. I say this every live. You guys ask me what kind of men I like, and I'm like, I like men with good character. I'm looking at these guys on a construction. These construction guys are just sitting on the edge of a truck with no protection. They're just riding down the street. Anyway. Oh my God, you recognize the School of Rock quote? You're a real one for that. Seuss, no PhD. That's even your name is a bar. Didn't have to do it. Hi, Denanje. Yeah, I need to find a girl like you. Oh, thanks, Eligio. Eligio? Yeah. So at some point, I need to find some shade because it might get a little hotter as the day goes on. Like as you can see, it's really bright out, but it's not necessarily super hot. It's breezy. All men have character. You must have a type. I think. I think. What's up with all the L Riz in the chat? Somebody commented L Riz the other day, and I thought that was so funny. I'd never heard anybody say it like that. L Riz. This new generation is so funny to me. Funny to me. You in California? I sure am, Mike. She's blinking a lot. I think she needs help. I just blink a lot. My whole life I've blinked a lot. So I tried to get it diagnosed, but turns out there's no remedy. Hi Paul, how's it going? Hi Bautista. Doing all right, thanks. How are you? I'm good. I'm finally doing I'm finally live from a different location other than my room. I got outside and I'm touching grass like you guys said. I'm a Louisiana man. I like that, Christian McCarthy. I can get with that. Put it that way. I could get with that. I can't wait until your personal info video. Know why? No, why? Why Armani? Because you think you know it all already, which you probably do, given your our last conversation. I guess they're gonna. Okay, Armani. So you know my last name. Good for you. There's this dad and son playing catch right in front of me, baseball. But the dad's not very good at catching the ball at all. Yeah. So you know how people live in areas where they either have like a pool in their complex, a gym, or a park, and you take it for granted. I'm definitely one of those people who takes for granted this park. Not really. Like I walk to the park a lot, but I definitely don't. I should definitely sit out here more. You're hot. Do you get it? Because you're sitting in the sun. But dump. It is getting kind of hot. But here's the problem. The catch-22 is if I go sit in the shade, then cold. It's not that hot out here, but when I sit directly under the sun, it is. I'm a ranch hand. What does that mean, Christian? Does that mean like you work on a ranch? I've kind of always wanted to live out my Southern girl dreams. Like here's what I envision. If I were to ever move to the South, or at least attain property in the South, it needs to be somewhere where there's a lake in the back of the house, and I could see the stars perfectly at night. I can hear cicadas. I don't want to see cicadas. I want to hear them. And it's like warm at night. Yeah, and I can go somewhere to go line dancing. and then I'm and then I'm in the house making lunch while my man is out there building something. Then I bring him a glass of lemonade or something to eat. Sure is hot out here. Come take a break. Where are you from, ma'am? I'm from California. Thanks, Larry. You too. You're so pretty. You would make a good me or wife. Thanks, Christian. Hi, Platinum and Gold TV. I am Pakistan. I think the word is you are Pakistani. Did you guys hear that? Hello from South Dakota. Ah. Hi, Joe. I've never been to South Dakota. I don't. A part of me wants to move away from this dad and kid playing catch because I don't want to get hit. They're like oddly close to me. Of all the places they could have chosen to play catch, like why are they so close to me? And then another dad and son came out here to play football, but they're further away from me, so I'm okay with that. Let me know if you guys ever, at any point, that you guys can't hear me because I'm outside. Yeah, so kind of slow today. Not a ton of folks in here. Maybe this is how it ought to be because usually when I go live the last like week or so, it's been like 100 people at one time. And I'm trying to have a slow Sunday, not like reading 1,000 messages, trying to play catch up, reading everybody's messages. You're gonna go fishing in your lake. That would be nice. That would be nice. Fishing in the lake. Also, the problem with being in the South and like the lake is that isn't there like crocodiles or alligators? That's the only thing, right? The warmer it is, And the more the South is, why do they have to play like right over my head? You must like catfish. I haven't had catfish in years. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna scoot back because they're just a little too close for comfort. And baseballs are hard, okay? So I don't want any. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're gonna be sorry. None of that, okay? None of that. What is the time right now? Do you have a horse, Christian? What is sunfish? Excuse me. The time is 1:03 p.m. I am finally getting some vitamin D, huh? I haven't sat out in the sun like this forever. This is my winter color. Like whenever I sit more in the sun, obviously I'll get darker, but this is my winter color because I haven't had any sun. On a Sunday afternoon, bless you back, Mr. Factor 510. 510, is that your area code? Are you from the Bay Area? Because I recognize that area code. 510 is like Oakland, right? Or the East Bay? It is. Yay area. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna scoot back. Two dads and sons catching in front of me. You guys, if I could show you how big this park is, if I could show you how big the park is and then how they all just choose whatever. Now I feel a little bit better being further away from them. Lobster, what are you talking about? You would get all the vitamin D. I own Orange Tree. That's nice. Yeah, I've lived in this city my whole life. And I think the city I live in is actually considered a little bit slower, but it's still a very they just keep getting closer and closer, you guys. If I could flip my camera, maybe I can. Let's see. They don't look that close, but they are. And every time I like Every time I move away, they get closer. Hi, Arvind. I love the way you embrace your natural beauty. It's rare. Happy Sunday. Thank you, Chris. That's a kind comment. Madhead. What is that? If I scoot, how much you guys want to bet? If I scoot back, we'll be even closer. One thing about guys is that you guys like to be seen. I'm gonna scoot back one more time. If they end up closer to me again, then I know something. Hi, Grace. Okay. At this point, it shouldn't. Okay. So yesterday I had an interesting day. Like the first half of it was actually really a lot, but I learned a lesson out of it. And the lesson I learned was whenever people are complaining and like they sound like they're just like like getting at you and just like upset and all these things, it's a cry for help. It's a cry for help. So without getting into too much detail, I was with some family and I felt like they were just, oh my God, just like complaining at me. And then the person that was initially doing the complaining, when he took it off of himself and then put it onto someone else and said, well, when you see someone do that, that means they're asking for help. And then I realized, oh, you're right. So then I hugged the person that was complaining because I realized it was a cry for help. But at the same time, so remember that the next time somebody is yelling at you, or not that you should endure abuse, but more so that acknowledge that people's anger is really just pain. Our anger is just pain. Especially if the person who never complains is complaining. That's true too. I think these specific people, they're always complaining, which means they're always crying for help. Like all of us have a child inside of us that we need to heal. So if someone is always complaining, it's because um, they just never healed that abandoned child. They're all lies. I sent that relationship 7 times for you to answer. answer that question, or I didn't see it. Everybody sees it. Lobster, what are you talking about? Are you alright? Are you crying for help right now? How can I help you? What is it that you need? You're literally giving me a good example of what I'm talking about. You're sad about something, you're hurt about something. Hi, JR. So, even though that first half of the day was a headache, that was the lesson that I got out of that first half of the day, was that when people are complaining and, angry, they're really just crying out for help. And then the other half of the day, I was able to blow off that steam and I went to a soccer game. And it was so cool because not only did I go to a soccer game, we had box seating, um, and we got invited down to the field and acknowledged during halftime. Dinner, drinks, the whole thing. And I was like, yo, what a turnaround. Like the first half of my day was a headache. And what I thought was a waste of time, because I originally went over there to take care of business with my family with like some documents we got to get figured out, just to find out that it just was never going to happen. And I spent 4 hours over there listening to them complain. Wow. Is this going to be my day? Like, wow. And then the latter half of the day was, okay. Thank you, Levi. Um, so yeah, the two lessons were gained out of yesterday. The first lesson was, whenever you hear somebody complaining, it's coming from anger. Second is, um, it gets better. It gets better. But I think too, whenever you're going through something that you perceive as bad, you have to ask yourself, what is the lesson that you have to get out of it? You know, what is the lesson that you? I'm laughing at this dad and son just keep getting closer to me. Thanks, Carl. I kind of want to ask them, you guys, because I just want to know, why do you keep getting closer? Like I scoot back twice already. Like, yes, I see you. I see you. I promise. For there to be not that little people, for there not to be as many people as there are, um, there's less people than there already usually is today. But even with the short amount of people, like, still some weirdos in the comments. What are you guys talking about? Like, lava fireground, you good? If anyone says anything nonsense, I'm putting you in timeout, which means you won't be able to talk, which means it's ridiculous. I always say check on. I always say check on the people who always check on everyone else. Them people be going through the most. That's why they're so caring. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wish you guys could see. people behind me. So anywho, yeah, I guess I didn't have a ton of topics today. I just kind of wanted to touch on a few things, and hopefully, like that was helpful to you guys. Um, I keep saying that I'm gonna upload my Q&A video, and I will. It's just been really busy these last 2 days, so I will upload the short of the soccer game that I went to yesterday because it was a really cool opportunity. Like I've never been to a game and like asked to come down to the field during halftime or on the big screen. So it was really cool and definitely turned my day around. And it just also lets you know like you can manifest cool things in your life, cool experiences, cool opportunities. Like I was sitting next to the director of a really huge bank in my city. So like you just never know. And the reason I was invited, for those of you like, how did you even get invited to that? Was I volunteer for this organization, and the woman who's the director of the organization, she was like, she knows that I love soccer, and so when she told me that the game was happening and that the opportunity was there, she was like, "You're the first person I thought of," and I haven't asked anybody else, so and I was just like, "Yes, I'll go. Count me in. What time does the game start?" And we won. So thanks, Levi. You remember me from the UK? I sure do, Isaac. I have more questions about relationships. Okay, what's your question? Hi, Abdul. I watching your all videos. I very liked. Thank you, lifestyle. Are you on the debate team? I'm not on a debate team, but I am in a communications speaking club, a communications and leadership club. Hi, MG. Greetings from Amsterdam, huh? Never gone to Amsterdam. Thanks, Carl. If you guys are new here, take a look at my videos and see if it's type of content that you like. I believe that I am here to inspire and motivate the world to see themselves as their highest selves, as well as give you perspective on how to look at life differently. Life is just one big lesson, and as we all go through similar things together, it can make our more challenging times easier when you have someone to help you with your what's going on in your life. So that's why I stream. That's why I want to build a community here. Well, thank you, Don V. The beautiful girl on your screen is Soulspiration. Consider subscribing and checking out my content if you find that this is stuff that you like to listen to. So there was a girl at work. So Isaac's got a question about relationships. If you guys have questions about things, I would say I'm a pretty smart cookie. Okay, I haven't lived all of life, but life has lived all of me. That's a bar. Okay, Isaac says, so there's a girl at work. She's always staring at me in a flirty way, but she tells me she has a partner, and she's always asking if I want to have kids and want to be in a relationship. She always treats me differently to all other guys. I guess all women treat me differently because I am exceptionally handsome. I'm a little out of her league, to be honest. Oh, you're out of her league, Isaac. First off, I remember you asking me this question. So, what is your question? Carl said, please take off your jacket to attract more viewers and earn more money. Okay, but here's the problem. If I did that, then you guys would be talking about how I'm literally doing that for money. Like, I feel like sometimes, guys, you guys don't even have, um, you're not very consistent with the things you say. Mind you, I can. It's a sunny day, and I wear this jacket all the time. But if I took the jacket off and I'm just sitting here on live, you guys be like, "Oh, you're just doing that for views." And then now here you are suggesting me that I like, which one is it gonna be, y'all? Does she fancy me? Also, her friend approached me the other day and asked me if I fancy her and what my type was. By the way, they are both my support workers. Isaac, I think it's pretty obvious that she has a crush on you. The question is, well, it's obvious to me based off what you're saying. The question is, if you feel like you're out of her league, and you might be talking about in the looks department, um, is there anything about her that you find attractive? Right? Does she have a good energy? If she's your support, it might be hard to like get to know her one on one without there being conflict. Like here in the States, you're not allowed to date your subordinates. Like I couldn't date my supervisor, or if I was a supervisor, I couldn't date someone underneath me or someone that directly reports to me. So you may not be able to get to know her like that because it might be, putting your job in jeopardy. But if you do want to get to know her off the clock, then I would suggest doing that with nobody knowing, and then you decide if you want to hang out with her. I don't know how I would feel if a guy told me that he thought he's out of my league or that yeah, I would be like, I would feel away. But maybe you are out of her league. I don't know. Inappropriate because I live in supportive housing. It's like a doctor and patient relationship. A girl at work used to measure my hand against hers because she saw my hands as small in a joking manner. How interested was she in me based on that? AL, that's hard to say. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not sure that that shows interest. She might just be pointing out that your hands are small. Look for other signs. Like, look for other things like people trying to bump into you. Not like physically, but like run into you. Like, when I had a crush in high school and stuff, I used to go out of my way to like run into him. Like my class would be over here, and like because I know he had class over there, I'd be like, let me just go the long route so I can bump into him and be like, oh, hey. We've all done that. So look for other things like them trying to always be next, like run into you or things like that. Yeah. I think another way to gauge interest is like how often they try to talk to you. Obster, I'm going to ignore everything you say from here on out because you're trolling and it's just ridiculous. How many guys in here or girls do you feel like have the ability to have a platonic relationship with the opposite sex? Thank you, Illuminati. Nick Swagger, when you say a woman will when you say that a girl will always let you know, when you say that, do you mean like directly or do you mean through her actions or kind of like how she is? Because I'm definitely not the type to let a guy know that I like him. But I think he should be able to gauge it a little bit. What did she say, Isaac? Thanks for sharing, Steve. Hi, Duckling. Yes, exactly, McSwagger. I think it's pretty obvious through someone's actions or just how they interact with you. Truthfully, um, one time there was this guy that I thought was really cool. I thought, man, he's so awesome. And I thought he was flirting with me, but he was just really friendly. He probably was flirting with me, to be honest, but, he was taken. And so I thought, sometimes we can misinterpret people and what they're doing. That's why there's like these memes going around of like girls are kind of like always saying, I have a boyfriend, right? And really he was just trying to say something like say hello or just like let her know like her tire was flat or something like that. And now I think kind of guys have like gotten upset about it. So now they're like, no, too bad. Like I tried to help you, but you assumed I was trying to hit on you. You know, they've kind of taken it to the extreme a little bit. During that conversation, she said, we're not here to be friends. So how are you interpreting that, Isaac? Are you thinking that she means that are you thinking she means that you guys aren't there to be friends, you're there to be more than friends, or how are you interpreting that comment? Because people say that at work all the time. When I was in corporate, that's what people would say, like, we're not here to be make friends, we're here to be coworkers, we're here to um whoa. I get live updates of this the soccer team that I follow, and they're already down 2-0, playing against Austin, Texas. Do you need a husband? Eventually. Platonic always leads to one or the other liking the other. Yeah, I agree. Swagger. So Isaac, you think that her saying that means that that you guys are there to be lovers? I feel like the question needs to be to yourself, Isaac. What do you want? Do you even like her? Because it sounds like you're trying to decipher something, but if you don't like her, there's no need to decipher anything. Like if you're not interested, you don't have to decipher what she's saying. But if you're not sure if she likes you because you potentially like her, then okay, it's worth investigating, looking into. But you have to know what you want first. Hi, Maurice. Yeah, Illuminati facts. Okay, lobster. So what's everybody doing with their Sunday today? Men like to be chased. It turns us on. You know, I don't believe in that, chasing a man. I think a man naturally has to have that pursuit in him. But I think it's natural for anyone to want to feel desired. Watching basketball games. Who's playing, Maurice? Are you watching March Madness? Because I used to really be into March Madness once upon a time. Um, when the girl shows us interest, it turns. Oh yeah, I mean yeah. But here's the thing about you guys. I don't think you even know about yourselves. When a girl kind of just like makes herself available, like, hey, the problem is that you guys usually will just go for it because it's right there, like it's easy. You're like, oh, I didn't even have to do anything. Versus a girl that you actually find attractive, that you're like, does she want? Like, you have to figure out if she likes you, or you have to actually make the first move. As human beings, we value what we have to put effort into. So even though it's nice when someone shows interest for you to you as a guy, I think guys naturally need to know that they worked for it. Oh, thanks, Robert. Okay. What time is it? It's 1:34 p.m. Girls don't say, "Hey, I'm available." They don't do that. I don't mean literally, lobster. I mean as in making themselves available. As in I'm out and about and I go up to a guy and I'm just like, "Hey." Hi, Ryan. Madam, are you married? I am not. A lot of guys have been asking specifically if I'm married. They're not asking. Well, they'll ask if I'm single, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, are you married in particular?" I have a theory that I was talking to this girl here because I'm from California, and obviously people get married in California. But I was talking to a girl here. She's from Chicago, and she moved to my city in Southern California, and she was just saying how, like, I mean, California is kind of like the sun is out 80% of the year, and which means you can show more skin and you can be more relaxed and you can just chill. And I think that type of weather kind of makes people feel like they don't have to settle down, if that makes sense. Like everyone's just like chilling at the beach. Yeah, sun's out. Got my sundress on. Don't get me wrong, I see tons of couples here, but I would be curious to know the marriage rate specifically here in California versus another state, because Southern California at least, because of the weather, and I think the weather plays a huge impact on how we date. Need a cab. Thanks, Robert. You're from Vegas. Maurice, you guys have the Vegas Raiders now, which used to be the Oakland Raiders, which is crazy. Okay, I think it might be time for shade. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys over here. Oh, I did a workout yesterday, and I'm sore. I work out twice in a row, actually. One on Friday and one yesterday. Wait. So Maurice is watching basketball games. What's everybody else up to? I'm in the park chilling. Yes. From Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, very cool. That background is a whole screensaver. Yeah, you think so? It is pretty cool, huh? Yeah, the trees are cool. I think California has good trees. If you're ever in Northern California, it's crazy because um, the trees get taller and thicker, and it's like you're in a forest, like a redwood forest. It's very beautiful. I didn't miss your message, Isaac. I saw it. Do you have a dog? No, I don't. You have changed the location, but the view is still quite right. Thanks, Ryan. Hola, ¿qué haces en el parque, amiga? Sí. ¿Cómo estás, parcera? Saludos desde Medellín. Hola, Pinina. Qué chimba, parce. Did I tell you guys I have a shirt that says that? When I was in Medellin, I got a shirt that says Que chimba, parce. And that's like what they say in Colombia. I think parce is like homie, friend. Que chimba, parce. Que chimba. I think after this, I'm done chilling in the park. I think I might go to the grocery store and get a few. You know what? No, I'm going to eat first. And then I want to go to the grocery store. Because if you go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, you're going to walk out with double the items. You walk out with twice the items just because you're hungry. Isaac, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Gracias, Pinina. Te aprecio. ¿Has visto mis videos cuando estaba en Medellín? Porque tengo 3 videos cuando yo visité Medellín. 27. Oh, good for you. For Thank you, Amy. Welcome. I'm sure you do look 20, Isaac, because 27 is not old. Sí, eso, Pinina. Gracias. Sí, sí, está en el parque, en la parque. Sola como que no tengo un novio o sola, like, literalmente, sí, estoy sola porque estoy en la parque sola. Gracias. Sí, 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 eso. So yeah, a live Q&A at 2K subs. Well, here's the thing. I did a Q&A to gather you guys' questions, and my goal was to do a Q&A at 1,000 subs. And so when I got 1,000 subs, I was like, oh shoot, I'm at 1,000 subs. And then now I'm over 1,000 subs. So I'm like, but the YouTube trend is to typically do a Q&A at 1,000 subs. So I am gonna post that video more than likely tonight. Tonight or tomorrow. I keep saying that all weekend, tonight or tomorrow, tonight. But yeah, it's gonna get posted within the next 48 hours. So most of you guys have your notification bells on already. So turn your bell on so you know when I post it. Um, most of you come through when I'm live, meaning you have your notifications on. So come on. Sí, me acuerdo con eso, Pinina. Gracias. Gracias, Pinina. Yeah, Carl's chill. Carl sounds like an Indian. How do you know, Isaac? Okay. So an Indian woman told me this. So I'm not being judgmental, okay? Or stereotypical. An Indian woman told me that a lot of Indian men are suppressed, like, what's the word? I guess sexually suppressed because of the country they live in. But at the same time, it's so weird because Kama Sutra, is that what it's called? Come on. That it's like that's from Hindi. That's from Hinduism. So it's probably due to the colonization of India. But they're like, so they kind of come off like really like, oh my god, like, because they're just suppressed. How about this, Carl's? Gracias, Pinina, para su suscripto. Igualmente, te aprecio. She pirating souls. Ciao, Pinina, gracias. Madam, please take off your. Yeah, I'm not pirating souls. Souls piration. Wow, I can't believe how slow it is today, but I'm okay with that. I really am. What would you guys think if I went live twice in one day? Hi, Jeremy. Like, what happens if, yeah, like, cause I realized I usually go. I had it in my notes. to go live in the evening because that seems like kind of like a better time for people. But maybe I'll go live again and see. I'll go live again this evening. Where are you? I'm in the park. People are walking their dogs and pushing their strollers. This is the day where I can hear people drumming, like they play like African drums over there. Um, People are walking their dogs. People are playing catch, working out, chilling on their blankets. Thank you, Jeremy. Are you at university? You mean am I in university? Like am I in college? I already graduated college years ago. Thank God. Looks like you're having a beautiful day. I'm meal prepping and listening along. Good for you, Dakota. And yes, I am. What are you making for your meal prep? And I get heal instead. Lobster, I feel like I don't know what you're saying half the time. You know, Mick Swagger, I have certain opinions on that. And I think one day I will get deeper on how I feel about that. But for now, I definitely can understand. But the world, unfortunately, feels that way about. Oh my goodness. Hi. You guys, look at this doggy. Look at the dog. The dog came right up to me. He was so cute. Was you. No. You don't have to sleep with a guy to get money. That's number one. A woman doesn't have to do that. And I mean that in the most respectful way. That sounds good, Dakota. I'm hungry, actually. No, mixed swagger. I feel like there's certain things that we have to understand in order for us to like get over that hump. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's for it to not bother you, but it's really deep. And I one day I'll talk about it. So I'm not sure. I won't go. I definitely won't talk about it now, but one day I will talk about it. The one thing I'll never do, respectfully, is marry a guy that's not um that either doesn't already have his residency or like I'm not letting he's not I'm not gonna be his green card come up. I've heard a lot of American women like go through that and really I mean it's just like 30-day what they call it 90-day fiance. Women do it to men and men do it to women. They're just like I'm gonna get my green card and I know you're joking, but I just would never be in that situation. No shade. No shade at all. The only way it could work is if he's from a country that I would want to live and have citizenship in too. So I wouldn't mind having UK citizenship. Not specifically with you, Isaac. No shade. I'm just saying, like as long as it works out in a way that I get like the citizen, because I would love to be a dual citizen somewhere. Um, so if I get dual citizenship, then I might consider it. Not specifically with you, Isaac. I mean in general. Most people want to move to America, but most Americans want to move. Yeah, I think here's the thing. The only reason why they want to move is because they have the US dollar and it goes further. When I was in Colombia, I thought, oh my God, you could live so well out here. But the reason why people want to come to the US is because of the US dollar. And then when they send their money back home to their family, it goes so far. Especially in countries where the US dollar, one US dollar is like, or like, no, one of their dollars is like 10 cents. In those countries, even if you come here to the United States as a foreigner and make minimum wage, whatever you have left over, you could save and give to your family back overseas. It goes so far. Crazy. I had a friend from my sister had a friend from Kenya, and she was working in tech, and obviously tech pays a lot. She was living comfortably, and she was able to send money back to her family, and she lived very, very her family was able to like get things because of her US dollar. So Americans have to remember you can move to another country, but you only are going there because of your currency, you know? America's bigger and more opportunities. Yeah, there's definitely more opportunities here for sure. But America is it's a big corporation. It feels like more of a corporation, and it's starting to feel more of like a big corporate world versus a country where you can live slowly, you know. So that's why I would probably move to the south so I can live nice and slow, live off the land. That's also why a lot of Americans are starting to live off the land or off the grid. Oh, thanks, Bib. They'll live off the grid and then like grow their own food, um, and just do the whole thing so that they can not be dependent on anything or anyone. Do you have conspiracy theories? I do. There was this YouTube channel that I found, and I forgot what the channel was called, and I haven't been able to find it in a while. But what was interesting was how um, in the channel, it was like this person kind of telling the future of what was going to happen, and they like predicted COVID and everything, and it was really weird. So I wouldn't call it a conspiracy, but what I would call it is that however this world is supposed to go, people know already. That makes sense. Like everything is kind of ordained and written out. So essentially what I learned in this video too is that apparently the UK is secretly in charge of everything. Because most of us think it's China, because we're in debt to China, and we are in debt to China. But I heard that it's the UK that is still secretly running the show. I forgot the name of it. If I find it again, I'll let you know, I promise. Uh-oh, guys, my phone's gonna die. I'm gonna probably end it here because if I don't end it, it won't save. Or maybe it will. But I should have charged my phone longer, but the battery drained. I kind of agree with that theory. Yeah, and so honestly, I have a theory that the UK that owns the US. Because at one point it did, right? Before before America got our sovereignty, when we were actually a country, we did have our sovereignty, but I think at some point it became a corporation, and I think the UK, like, no one really talks about it. We think it's China, but I think it's the UK. There's also a lot of British people coming into the US. Um, you see it in Hollywood, like more than ever. There's a lot of British people coming to the US, and specifically, like in my city, they made a direct flight from here to London. Like they make direct flights set up for specific purposes. Before you could not take a direct flight from my city to London, but now that you can. And you also have a lot of British people in Hollywood, um, a lot of Black British people coming too. I don't know if I do want to visit London again because I've been once for a short period of time, but I would want to visit. I don't know if I could live there because um, the sun doesn't come out enough. The Pope represents God. The Pope doesn't represent God, babe. Boy, do I have news for you. Never mind, we're getting too deep now. Okay. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go live later today. Maybe. I don't know, Viv. I don't know if I agree with that. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here because I don't want my phone to die. So I will see you guys later tonight. Um, if you're not subscribed already, please do. Thank you for liking the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. My pleasure, Bib. Bye, Isaac. Bye, McSwagger. Bye, Lobster. And Dakota, if you're still here, I hope your cabbage and chicken is good. That sounds amazing. Bye. Until next time.